Viking fans, welcome to the Vikings After Show on AFTERBUZZ TV. Tonight we talk about Season 1, Episode 9, All Changed, and Season 2, Episode 1, Brothers War. Let's get to the rating.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I like that we're getting to the rating, Jaco. That was awesome.
Yeah! Cheers!
Cheers!
On the middle camera. Cheers, you guys. Thanks for joining us right here. Thank you to Ariadne.
Yay!
I'm singing lots of things.
And I'm in the chat for the first time, guys. I've never actually used the chat before because I've seen it on somebody else's computer or somebody's phone. So, yeah, I'm chatting.
Chatting is cool, and it's awesome to chat. You guys can see we all got right here. So, before we get to the chatting, let's get opening. My name is Jaco Vennings. You guys can find me all over social media at Jaco Vennings, Jaco Vennings.
Hey, you guys, you can find me online at Kari Lane. That's Karidlane.
And my name is James Simmons. You can find me on the interwebs at Ask the NP. NP as in nurse practitioner. You ask me shit, and I answer.
I liked your travel and suggestion one. What was the other day? You combined two things.
I did.
I like that one.
Thank you very much.
You're Brits, guys. I watch his thing.
They're fun.
Every single day on Facebook, right?
She watches my thing. And Instagram and Twitter and all over.
Asking all those things you can ask your doctor because you're too nervous and too scared.
Right.
You ask the NP.
You ask me.
It's got some crazy stuff on there.
I answer in this voice.
James, what's the craziest question you had to answer on Ask the NP?
Are you really? Do you really want this question?
Yes.
Like the guys at home, the craziest question.
This is really nasty.
Okay.
It's bad.
No,
it's rough.
Hurry up and say it so we don't have
Someone
a lot of time.
asked me what are the dangers of having her boyfriend shit in her vagina?
And those are?
Do I need to explain? Wow.
Thumbs down. Thumbs down.
Wow.
Big thumbs down. Yeah.
Guys, Vikings fans, let's get to this. We have two big episodes to get through. It's a season finale and a season... What's season? Premiere. Yeah, there you go.
Ooh.
Two huge episodes. So, we get the Vikings. They're on the way to Lagerthaand.
Yes.
What are they doing there?
They show up wet and cold. They look like a bunch of wet puppies.
Yes, wet cats. More like wet cats. They're just like...
They're all hairy and they're like, fuck you, dude. Like, you're going to leave us here in the cold?
Hey, the Brits were actually nicer.
The Brits were. Oh, that's the custom.
Touché.
Yes, they're so polite.
That's why they die so easily as well.
Yes, this is true.
We
That's why they
established
don't
this.
last long.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So now the point here of this whole thing is Ragnar is going on behalf of King Horik, right? Saying like, listen, give our land back.
And Jarl, who we just had a conversation. Maybe you guys knew this. By the way, if you know stuff like this and we mess it up, let us know.
Please.
But we have decided in our infinite wisdom that Jarl means king in Norwegian.
Yeah, I think they'll slap us on the wrist very quickly, so let us know. But it is. So Jarl Borg is from Sweden, Ragnar and Horik is from Norway. Right? Two different countries. So they travel pretty far. That's why they're called.
I still argue that they'd have different languages.
They should have different languages.
But
Sweden and Norwegian.
The show has kind of like slipped away from the learning another language, saying another language, or being like, this was said in this language, this was said in this language. Well, they're all saying the same thing.
Language, they do two languages at school in the Viking land.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Everyone's bilingual.
Sure.
Everyone's trilingual in Vikings.
I'll take it.
Where they start in pre-K.
Yeah.
And that's where they learn their ABCs in different languges. Yeah.
And obviously English as well. But anyway, so they're at this meeting, and so what's the deal here, guys? Jarl Borg is like, listen, I'm not too keen to what's the word?
He's like, no.
Negotiate
with you guys.
No.
Yeah, he's like, no.
And in fact, that's why he doesn't invite them in the first place. And he's like, no, you guys can sit out there and be wet because there are no negotiations to be had until he finds out.
Ragnar Lothbrok. That's who he is.
Oh, that's who
the
you
eyes,
are.
The eyes lighten up because this dude has heard of him.
And he's like, oh, well, in that case, get these guys some clothes and some food and some women and some whatever.
Everything you want. Right. We'll take care of it.
Because you're Ragnar Lothbrok.
So this is what we're going to do then. You guys, as a counter offer, why don't we why don't I lease the land to him and I claim the rights? Or the Jarl Borg is like, well, nobody lays claim, James, like, and we split the what do they have? The gold and probably iron.
It's minerals.
Minerals. Like, what does that
They
mean?
were
Like,
actually
sulfur?
kind of vague.
Super vague.
Yeah. So let's just say
Pretty much it's land that
let's just
there's
say
a lot
iron.
of stuff you can get from.
Iron or some kind of iron. Well, whatever it is, we'll split it halfway or whatever it is.
No. Jarl King.
No.
No, he's like, no, this ain't gonna work. You can tell, dude, I don't negotiate. And by the way, my price for this land is King Horik's head. Take
And
that.
like his men all laugh, and then like our group is like, oh, no, we weren't expecting
That's
that.
like-
I wasn't
work.
expecting
Yeah.
that, not at all. So now the king is asking, like, well, can we talk about this? Rollo is ready. He wants to, negotiate. And Ragnar is like, hold up, buddy. We can't speak on behalf of the king.
This ain't gonna work. So Jarl Gold, I keep saying Jarl Gold, Jarl Borg.
You're ruining future episodes, James.
I am sorry.
Get
He's
your
like
shit.
a cyborg, so Jarl Borg.
I might have messed that up a little bit. Missed that? Ugh, words are hard for me tonight.
Apparently.
JB, we're going to
okay.
call him JB, Jarl Borg, JB. So JB is like, well, why don't you send one of your homies back and tell King that it's either his head or
No deal.
my ass. No deal, right?
No deal was right. So they go back, and Floki is sent to go back.
Because who would you trust?
Yeah.
Floki. Absolutely.
Yeah, who would
All
you
the-
trust
well,
actually
you've got
not
one
mess it
eye.
up?
You've got one eye. You've got the other cool dude there. I still don't know the name of him.
One eye's like best friend. that
Yes,
they're always
exactly.
with.
Like
Yeah.
they're together.
It's like fudge.
Fudge.
Tristan, Trizol.
Tristafudge.
It's when you
very
watch it. I
Swedish.
watch it with subtitles because
I love
I'm like, what are you guys
Tristafudge.
saying? And kind of a thing. And his name is like, it's like TRY something.
We're going with Tristafudge.
I love
Tristafudge.
Tristafudge.
Yeah, that's your name, Carrie. We're going with it. Tristafudge.
So Tristafudge, One Eye, Ragnar, they're going to go sightseeing. They're going to some tree that holds up the sky. Apparently,
Yes.
it's like a local landmark.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Which, okay, so do you think that JB knew what he was up to when he's like, I'm going to send Ragnar and everybody to this tree of life and keep one person behind?
Well, behind, yes, I do think he was maybe into Rollo's behind as well because...
Oh my.
Yeah, no,
In a
because...
way.
Yeah, no,
Hey.
listen. We didn't know that Ragnar would have chosen Rollo to stay,
That's true.
right? But...
Rollo offers, doesn't he?
No, he's like, my
Nope.
brother
Oh, yeah, he goes-
will
Yeah.
stay. And then he leaves, Rollo's kind of sitting there uncomfortably. But my point here is, as soon as they're gone, they start talking to Rollo.
Inmediatamente.
And we
as
should
would
just
say
jump
in
into that right now.
Spanish, yeah. So, he starts having these conversations and he's real smooth about it, JB. He kind of lays the groundwork, right?
How's things with your brother?
So Rollo, how's it going? And
Yeah.
he just knows how to dig at him. He's like, I had a brother, and then shit went down.
Horrible tale,
Horribly.
right? Brothers didn't like each other, loved each other actually. Dad died, fight for the throne. One brother tries to kill everybody with poison, and then
And then JB burns him.
burns him alive. James,
Ugh.
and I mean, what happens when you burn alive? A lot of people do that. Like, how do you die from the flames, or do you die
Apparently,
from the?
this is you would likely asphyxiate from the smoke first,
Yes.
and you would probably pass out. But before you asphyxiated from the smoke, it would be incredibly painful. It's
Well, how long would it take before you burn past the nerves, where then you wouldn't feel it?
I think it depends on how you're burned. So if you burn the
Gas.
whole body at the same time at the same rate, probably pretty quickly. So it would only be
Right.
painful for like a minute.
It'd be excruciating for a minute, but then
It's just a minute worth of burning
a minute.
alive. That's
Yeah.
all. Never you
Yep.
fear. Yikes.
Ouch.
Thanks for asking the NP.
Of course.
Okay,
No.
I like, we got a comment,
let's go
YouTube.
for it.
I kept thinking that Rollo always seemed to get the short end of the stick. I think that's why I was never mad at him until much later in the series. No, don't trust that mofo at all. Never liked him. Don't trust him. And my thoughts have been confirmed as the show progresses. Just saying.
But I don't.
That's good.
So Ariadne, viewers, Carrie, I don't see this Rollo getting the short end of the stick thing. Like Ragnar always has his back. Ragnar always brings him along.
Oh, no, I don't think he gets the short end of the
Ragnar
stick. I just don't trust him.
Oh, I don't trust him either.
Yeah.
But
Ariadne
Ariadne,
does.
to your point, my dear,
Yeah.
and we thank you again. You're like our number one fan. We love you, and we are your number one fan. I don't know. I don't see it. Like, at this point, like, where did Ragnar ever do Rollo wrong for
He just
Rollo
sounds
to
like
all
a
of
whiny
sudden...
child.
He does.
He does like
He can make a
exactly.
name for himself. He could spread like and get information out there of who he is and make claim himself and just do good, glorious things in battle. He just kind of like, I don't get any recognition, and you're just like, yes,
Exactly.
It's like,
Maybe you
shut
should kill more
up.
people. Like, what
Yeah.
the hell's your problem?
Yeah.
Nonetheless, he is there, and Jarl Borg is chatting this dude up. He's keeping
Yeah.
him entertained with women, food, and drink. I mean, what more do you
Oh
need
yeah,
as a
which women do
Viking?
you want? You can't bribe me with women. Then what do
Obviously,
you
you
want?
can.
Then, right, are you sure you don't want both of them then?
I know, right? He's like, good offer.
Very good offer. But now this takes us down to, so Rollo's at Jarl Borg, and now the next thing we're going to go travel with Ragnar, One Eye, and Fastustafich to the Tree of Life. I've got his name.
Tristaffa Fudge.
Staffa Fudge.
It was
to
not saying the F word when I couldn't remember what the name was, but okay.
Journey to Tree. This is how I took notes. I cracked myself up with, I hope you guys appreciate this. I cracked myself up when I take notes. Because I have funny shit all over these notes. Because these episodes were kind of funny, right? Do you guys agree? They were funny.
I think it was
There are parts
hilarious.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So
It
a
is.
lot on this journey to Tree.
Ash tree.
Magic tree.
Circle of life. That's all I could hear in my head, like this tree of life thing. I wanted to like bust out into Lion King. They're
No,
on
it's
this...
more like Fern Gully. That's the magic
Ooh,
tree.
Even better. Right, or the big friendly giant.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm totally
I'm
sidetracked.
lost.
Speaking
It's okay.
Speaking of being lost, so were Trafuva Fludge and One Eye when they saw Pretty
Are we still talking
Naked,
about, are we talking about Vikings stuff?
Pretty Naked
Yes.
Lady. They were lost when they saw
Yes,
Pretty
they are
Naked
No,
lost.
they were
Lady.
going fishing.
They were going fishing.
No, they were lost in her beauty. Work with me,
Oh,
guys.
yes.
Work
Okay,
with me
yes.
here. Come on.
They went to go fishing and got lost. How's that? They had a
Exactly.
purpose. They didn't just wander off.
No, I'm saying they got lost in her beauty.
Yes, they
Because
did.
she was bucket naked.
Yeah, I love that they're like, you need an apology. I'm like, I'm sorry, you're out in the middle of the woods naked. I don't know why you'd be surprised if anybody looks at you. You're out there naked.
Would you look at her if you found her in the middle of nowhere?
Hell yeah.
Anybody.
Exactly.
Anybody naked be like, what
But
are they doing?
the Amazon
Like, whoa.
women, they don't agree. Like the Amazon warrior
Yeah.
women, they're like,
The
nah,
guards.
boom, boom.
And
I've
That's
actually had
twice.
that. I went hiking and there was like a hot springs and there were people nude and you're just trying to not be like.
You stared them down so bad. Don't lie.
Well, they sat very conveniently that you like it was shallow and they sat in ways that you didn't see them and they're just like, hey, how's it going? And you're like,
Did their
"Hi."
posses slice your cheek, though?
They didn't have any posses.
then they're not royalty.
Then they're not,
No, they're not royalty.
then they're not some
No.
weird anorexic princess lady, are they?
Amazon, she is freaking tall.
She is tall. But okay, so right now at this point, it's like, I have a bad taste in my mouth from this girl, from this woman
Oh,
immediately.
you do?
From
When I
jokes.
see it, that smile. Oh my gosh! And I'm saying it's the second time I've watched this, but I felt the exact same way the first time I've watched this episode.
you?
Exactly.
I think they did
Just
very
bad.
interesting casting because she has a very unique look.
Yes.
Very unique.
Agreed.
And it's beautiful in that kind of unique looking, like, it's like Gelfling, you know, it's just like weird face that you're
Yeah,
just like.
big smile, a lot of teeth.
And she's just so tall because later when
tall.
she's standing next to Ragnar, it's like bloop.
Yeah.
And later, when other people meet her, it's like, hi, you're up there.
You are up there.
Eyes like a hawk, yeah? And she just is, yeah, definitely
But she looks like
piercing.
royalty, though. She kind of
Well, how she carries herself,
That's what it
yes.
is. That's exactly
Totally.
what it is. Kari.
Yep.
Well, and
Yep.
speaking of carrying herself, she's very demanding, if you will, and she's like, oh, you're here with Ragnar Lothbrok. Well, I think he owes me an apology for you guys looking at my naked bush.
Bush is right.
It's more her butt,
Yeah, I would say. Well,
It's
you
her
don't know what
backside.
they say. Those Vikings are sneaky. They
Well,
probably
actually,
saw
how they
everything.
filmed it, you know, just for convenience to television, she could have gone up out of the water the other way, but they conveniently just did the backside so you
Of
could be like,
course,
bloop.
of course.
Of course.
Yep.
Come on. Michael Hirst write it differently, please, next time.
Eh.
All right, so now Bjorn. Okay, well, so the girl arrives. Aslaug is her name. The queen. She arrives, and Ragnar says, "Why don't you travel with us to this amazing tree
Well, wait,
of
you got to
ash?"
do his cool riddle that he does.
Okay,
here.
so go for it.
That was cool because he's like, the guys come up to him and he's like, yeah, send her back a message that she needs to come hungry and not full in company and not alone and
Dressed but not naked.
Dressed but not naked.
Dressed but
or
not
dressed
naked.
but not dressed or
clothed.
whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
So she comes
With a dog,
as the company.
which I was like, but that is in company. But I guess since it's not a person,
It's in company. Fair enough,
Right.
but it's not.
But it's not a person.
But you're alone, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And then she's eating, so she's not hungry and not full. And then she kind of has clothes on.
Like a fishnet kind of deal.
Yeah.
But you can like see through.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very
she's
interesting.
clever.
Right?
Ragnar is clever. Don't give her anything.
And that too. They're both
Do
clever.
not give her anything.
That's why they like each other. They're turned on
don't-
by each other's intelligence.
We don't know how we feel about this naked lady yet, Jaco.
I liked her.
I immediately.
I was intrigued.
Intrigued is good. I just felt some
You're suspicious?
bad stuff is coming.
You're
So
like
now-
Bjorn. You're like, I don't trust you,
exactly.
lady.
And Bjorn is absolutely right, Gary. Now Bjorn is saying like, listen, my dad is making a fool of himself. He's flirting with this girl, and then Verstufelsfusch.
Tristoffel fudge.
I'm gonna write that down.
Tristoffel fudge.
Just
Tristoffel fudge. They're like, all right,
fudge.
so I guess we
He's
gotta
like,
go
don't
with
worry,
this
your dad's a
lady."
man. We know everybody loves, your parents love each other. It's okay.
All right, when Bjorn's all like,
Yeah.
he's
well,
over there
it's
making
fun.
a fool of himself.
It's all right.
fun. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Well,
Bjorn.
apparently Queen Aslaug is a celebrity.
Princess.
Yeah, she's a celebrity. And self-spoken one as well. But do you think that she has to say? Do you guys think at home she had to tell her that she's a celebrity? She's a queen. Is it important?
I think they knew. At this,
Why did you tell her immediately then?
At this stage, she's a princess.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's a princess right
oh,
now.
she's a princess. Yeah. Okay, so
'Cause she's
I
not
thought
married.
It's not the same thing as right.
Princessa.
Because
Yeah.
her parents. Well, actually, it didn't say that her parents were king and queen. They just her parents are famous.
We're like
Famous, yeah,
super
like
famous people.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I don't think they knew who she was.
So is she like Suri Cruz? Like daughter of
That
two
dude-
famous parents?
Well, her parents were amazing warriors, so
Tom Cruise
One
is
was
not
a
an
she.
amazing warrior?
Have you seen
on.
Mission Impossible? Come on.
Duh. All six
He
of them?
jumps out of planes.
yeah.
So they get to the tree. I feel like we got to move this along a little
Yes.
bit.
Yeah,
here.
let's go.
We get to the tree. Bjorn's like, "What the hell?" And then all of a sudden, Ragnar and what's her bucket have this like little moment, and she's like, "Wait." He says, "Why did you say that?" And she's like, "I had no choice."
Oh yeah.
I had
And
no
then he
choice,
kisses
right,
her.
Yeah.
I had no choice.
Oh,
Whatever.
gross. Barf. They're falling for each other. So we know what happens next.
Sexy time.
Sexy time.
Yep. And Bjorn doesn't like it. He hates it. He goes the next time. It's like, I hate you. Don't do it again. Promise you'll never do it again.
And Ragnar's like, "Sure, buddy. I'll
course
never.
not.
I'll never do it again." Like fingers,
Yep.
crossed behind him.
Well,
But when she comes back, he turns her down.
yeah, he turns it down. No
his
nookie for her.
Credit.
Yes.
To his
Dude,
credit.
she's hot and she straddled him, and she's like ready to go for it, and he's like,
And big surprise at the end, he stopped her, but obviously he's a first timer there.
Apparently, he's very fertile, and so is
yeah,
she.
first
So is
he's
she.
got the. Oh, so is she. It's not always just the man, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
Well, it's
funny.
his fault if it's no boys, though, right?
Is it? I don't know.
That's what I remember. If you
don't
can't make
remember the
sons, it's the
genetic-
male's fault.
Oh, haha. Probably.
Wow.
But I do think this time jump was kind of funny. Am I done with this page yet? Not yet. I do think the time jump is kind of funny because they're like, "We just had sex like 2 nights ago. I'm pregnant.
It wasn't even a time jump. She just goes, "I'm pregnant."
I'm carrying your child." Oh,
She
really?
knew,
You know
James.
that?
She knew.
She knew. They said they
Well, if you're a woman and this time period men only want sons, what's the easiest thing you could tell them after you've had sex?
I'm pregnant with a son.
I've had your
with a
child.
boy.
I have a
Right,
son.
Right.
and they know that. That's
He
what
just
Lagertha
goes
also
weak
said.
in the knees. He's like, "Oh, you too?"
That's true. Lagertha did also say that. Oh,
Yeah.
we got to see what Ariadne said.
No,
But
nothing. Oh, she had nothing terribly.
Scoliosis warrior here. Oh, she's a warrior as well. A scoliosis warrior.
Literally. Ooh. Much love to you, Ariadne, for being a scoliosis warrior. Mm-hmm. And all of our other Vikings fans, you guys are all warriors. If anything, because you survived this show, like the battle
Yes,
scene that's coming up
absolutely.
later.
Yeah.
Later is right, but just before we get to later, we're going back to Floki and King Horik. They're talking real quick, saying, moving us
super
along.
fast.
Listen, I don't really care. I'm not here to negotiate.
Right. The king's like, yeah, I don't negotiate. Oh, look at that spider eating that fly. Symbolism.
Symbolism is right. Ragnar will make the right choice. I'll leave it in his hands.
Right.
That's it.
I thought that was symbolism. They're trying to get rid of Ragnar.
Oh.
That's how I interpreted it, actually.
That fly eating the spider eating the fly is the king
that
trying to get rid of Ragnar?
Yep.
Ooh.
Because
Interesting.
it's a good way to get rid of Ragnar.
Interessante.
In the end, I don't think that's what it was, but I had a moment where I was like, wait a minute. But
What's
yes.
going on? So I think we have to
Cut.
jump back just a little bit to, JB is still working over Rollo.
Yeah.
Big time.
Okay.
Did I get us lost, Jaco?
I think but you go for it, James.
No, I just think we, while we're at the tree, because we went through the tree and they're doing their thing, and we went through Floki talking to the king, and King Hork's like, no, I don't negotiate.
Well, because that's the ending of the whole episode. It kind of plays in. So why don't we just jump back to Kattegat real quick? Because the next thing is the whole ending, right?
Sure.
Is it not? The whole ending with Jarl Borg and what happens?
Pretty much.
Sorta, yeah.
Okay, but we want to finish that way?
Yeah.
Okay,
Not
let's
much more
do it.
happens with the people.
So let's finish that storyline then.
Well,
so Rollo, you said, he's getting smooshed.
right.
He's like, will you join me in the coming war?
Worked over.
And Rollo's like, yes.
Oh, I see. Aha, I'm with you now. You guys were jumping forward. I was going to go into the subtlety more of like how JB was really working Rollo.
I was going to say, we don't have a whole lot of time.
I think we're there. Yeah. Basically, JB's like, you going to roll with me or not?
Yep. And Rollo goes, yeah, sure.
Rollo's like, I wrote this one down as a quote. I will fight with you. No, that was not. There's
I will
nothing
you fight
sexy.
with me, Rollo.
Yeah. I will fight against my brother with you. Really?
God.
So, Kari, your predictions were right!
Yes, it
I
was
was like,
right.
I don't trust him at all.
We can't trust that little bastard.
That's great.
Yep.
Ta-da is right.
Got it.
That is so. God, are we back in Kattegat now? That's
I think
thing,
so.
right?
And this is
That's because
big.
we haven't said anything about Kattegat, and that, it was big what went down there.
Well, yeah, and I don't mean to steal the thunder, by the way, of what was going on at JB's house, by the way. I mean, this is a big deal. We've been kind of feeling this Rollo, maybe going to turn on Ragnar thing coming for a while, and he finally does.
it.
Huge moment.
Yep.
Big.
Huge moment. As
Well,
are
right
the huge
now,
moments
it's just
in
words
Kattegat.
of it, though.
Just words, but he finally says it out
Yes.
loud.
I remember watching this the first time. You're going to a 6-month hiatus. You don't know what's happening, so it's stuck in your mind.
That's very true.
Okay, so let's jump back to Kattegat. Lagertha. She doesn't eat. She's scared. She's scared for her husband. She wants kids. She wants sons.
I haven't done this, Jaco, in
Stop
so
it.
long.
Stop it.
Lick my hand, Kari. Lick my hand. Do it, like the seer. Oh, she actually did it! You always wake me up and want me to answer a question that I not want to answer. So therefore,
Do you think he gets something from that?
I wonder, how is that
Like,
the payment?
I was wondering if it's like magical, like he absorbed.
It's magic.
That was
For you
awesome.
on iTunes, yes, I actually did lick his outstretched palm.
Yes,
Definitely
just like the
magic.
seer. See, you gotta watch this shit or you miss some amazing stuff, man.
I just wonder, because then that would go with him being magical and absorb. I thought from that he could tell about her, he could absorb it, and that would lend to those characters having magical abilities, which just show hints at, but not necessarily goes full force into.
And so far, this
That's
guy's
my
got
guess,
powers.
why?
He's studying the future,
Yeah.
pretty seriously. He's like, Ragnar's in trouble. Not
Vaguely.
not
It's one of those
physically.
that's vaguely enough.
Yeah, not
Yes.
physically, but in his, did he say magical world?
Yes,
in the magical
world. He's in
yes.
trouble.
Magical realm.
Yes, I was like, what the fuck is the magical realm? Come on, seer, dude. Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'm not going to tell you anymore, I'm done.
Right, he's like, you woke me up, I didn't even want to talk, and
Yes, the shadows from hell.
ooh,
Right.
oh.
That was in her dreams, thank
Yes,
you.
that you
Thanks,
can.
Steve.
Now, moving along in Kattegat, Zik is coughing. She's not feeling well.
She mentions a fever, but of her nephew?
And
Yes.
Yeah.
nephews that they buried. The first, one day was
Next
fine,
day.
the next day was earthbound.
Done.
I was ready to ask you that one. What fever plague could this be?
Was this probably? So
Because
I
it's just a fever,
Yep. Which
and then they die.
now we don't really treat seriously because when we get something like a basic pneumonia, or even like a kidney infection or a urinary tract infection, we take some antibiotics, it goes away, we feel fine.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they didn't have any of that, and you can get septic. Your whole body can get sick, and a urinary tract infection can kill you. So this could have been anything. Now, because it spread to everyone so quickly, this was likely an upper respiratory kind of
Definitely
thing.
sex.
It was definitely sick. They were all fucking. Now, this was definitely like an airborne thing, like a flu. So this
Okay.
was probably either like a bacterial kind of thing, a pneumonia. It knocked everybody out. Was it like the bubonic plague or something?
Well,
I
they
don't
had
know.
no other symptoms just besides
Just
a really bad
Coughing, fever, sweating,
Fever.
dying.
and not eating, being weak, and
Yeah.
it was the people who there were people you either lived or you didn't. It really was just how
Like your immune
strong
system.
you were.
Yeah.
Yep. And it was
It's
sad.
pretty sad, pretty tough.
That's why they had lots of babies.
That is why, because
You could lose them so easily.
Yeah, survive. So now half the town is dying now at this point. Right.
It felt like a lot of people died.
It's an epidemic now.
Bodies being poured into like wagons.
To burn them though.
Amen to that.
Shit's
when
not
you
good.
got a disease, you got to burn them.
Athelstan is sick. Gira is sick. Ziggy's daughter is sick. Ziggy is sick.
Ziggy is sick.
Ziggy herself is sick. Right, so let's we should probably end this episode off. Not a lot happening here. Basically, there's an offering, and the sickness, I guess, fixes itself. But
It
a
passes.
lot of people die.
Because of the offering of the goat, maybe? I'm with you.
Yeah,
I smell what you're cooking.
Absolutely.
Yeah, could be.
One of the people dying.
And then
we got the big deaths.
The big deaths.
we thought they were teasing us. We thought Athelstan was going to die.
I know. I was like, ah.
Stop it.
Yes, right. And then they did stop it because he didn't die. Think his god. Not the gods, but his god. Get it?
Aha.
But unfortunately, Miss Gita died.
The young daughters die.
Yep.
Hey, but now, pseudo prediction, I feel that Ziggy and Lagertha, it's Lagertha I'm saying?
Lagertha.
They can bond now. They have a common shared problem of losing their daughters. Like that solidarity of they've gone through this trauma together. Both had the same loss.
Absolutely.
That's right, they both lost. That's right. Siggy's daughter died. I forgot about that.
And now she's alone. She's 100% alone.
And this brings us to the end of episode 1.
Yep.
So what's the big things that end off here? Rollo, yes, I will fight with you.
Yep.
Ragnar goes to Aslaug.
And she's preggers.
In the castle, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And then the third one was someone else. Oh,
Gita dying.
Gita dying.
Yep.
Gita dying.
Athelstan finally getting better, but Gita dying.
Gita dying.
Siggy's daughter dying.
Yep.
Huge way to end season 1.
Yes.
Episode number 9. That was crazy. And then it leaves us. Okay, everyone, pretend like it's 6 months later. Ready?
That's the wipe.
Oh,
that works.
6 months later, welcome Viking fans to the Vikings After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. Tonight, we're speaking about episode 1 of season 2.
God, it's been so long since we have
Good
seen
seeing you
the
guys.
Vikings.
You should really change your outfit.
Missed you.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
you know what? This is kind of my like my suit, my black T-shirt and jeans.
That's what you wear.
It has been so long since we've seen the Vikings. Thank God.
We have a new comment.
Michael Hirst, we're back after 6 long months. Thank you. And we have a viewer who's joined us for our first live chat of season 2.
Adriani makes a good point of, she was sad when Gita died. I wanted to see how she turned out when they time jumped. Good point. I would want to see how she grew up. But I can understand the creative show just wanting to keep it accurate to the actual history of Ragnar.
Oh.
Interesting.
I love it when people break down like true Ragnar Lothbrok facts.
It's a
Okay,
true
so wait,
story.
I'm going to be, it is?
Yep.
I had no idea. So
Yeah, it's a true story.
Ragnar Lothbrok is a real
A
person?
real
It
person.
is a real person.
Was.
Well,
Yeah, was a real person.
So,
James,
but
he's not alive anymore.
Well, was it one of those, he's a
no,
real
he is alive
historical
right now.
figure, but they don't have, so much facts that they know everything?
Totally. And there's
It's
a
historical fiction of him.
there's a Nordic legend that's been passed down throughout multiple generations, and they only had an oral history. Some of that legend seems to have been merged with the actual life history of this Ragnar Lothbrok guy. So no one actually knows what was legend and what actually happened with Ragnar Lothbrok.
That's right.
It's like in Doctor Who when they go and meet Robin Hood, and he's like, Robin Hood doesn't exist. And then they meet Robin Hood.
Doctor Who?
Who?
And then I do the Houdini and Doyle show, and that one's historical kind of fiction too. So.
Keep this in mind, guys. When they invade England, though, those guys did right.
They did right. Mm-hmm. So at least what we have when they went over and took over the Northumbrians.
Yes.
We got a little bit
but
of that.
they're not taking over the Northumbrians
No.
in this episode.
No.
In this episode, it's time to sort out some shit in Jotaland. They're going to confront Jarl Borg.
JB. I don't know if you guys remember, but from last season, 6 months ago, we decided to name Jarl Borg JB because it's easier for
I
me to
literally
say.
don't remember because that's a long time ago.
Because that was such a long time ago. I love this scene, this opening scene. Actually, I thought it was really super pretty. Just like the deserts and the flying over, and they're like Scandinavia, 796.
I saw it as
Yes.
wasteland. It looked like a excavation pit of someone mining for coal.
And what a great place to have a battle.
How cheap was it? Great.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice their standoff fighting? Remember before we discussed how the Vikings were able to overcome the British because they did crazy fighting styles? And now in this one, they had we're just going to stand in 2 lines and come at each other. And you're like,
so funny, Kari, though, because it's like a bad chess match. Because the one is like, shields!
Yes.
And then
Shield.
pause.
Spears.
Shield.
Spears. Yeah, that's pretty dumb.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do the exact same chess moves that you're doing. So.
Oh, and then guys, I'm so badass. I'm not gonna wear a shirt, so I'm not gonna wear any protection at all.
It's like on the basketball court when you have shirts versus skins.
No, not when you're using blades, and you should be wearing leather and metal so your skin doesn't get cut.
I think it was a brilliant play to help us be able to tell them apart.
Yes.
Because I'm one of those dumb viewers who can't. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? He
Well,
looks like Trafalgar Fudge.
All of them are dressed in the same grey clothes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean,
How do we tell them apart?
Brownish gray. Yeah.
And
I'm
plus,
sorry,
it's
brownish grey.
I was gonna say those are more brown, but anyways.
Yes, and it's definitely. It's
Fine.
definite.
The
it's
shirts and no
definitely
shirts,
more
but it's
brown.
a dumb way to fight.
very dumb.
They're a dumb way to fight.
Yeah.
But it also is another opportunity for us to see Rollo with his shirt off, which is never a bad
I feel like
thing.
he's losing his six-pack. I'm gonna throw it out there because I have seen him in better shape.
Wow.
But it's a different kind of shape because there's
He's
like
meaty.
300 like thick, and then there's like Brad Pitt and Fight Club like lean cut.
Yeah, true.
There's different.
He totally was not on his paleo diet.
No.
Right
Yeah.
before this
No.
fight, he
No,
was
he
bulking.
wasn't.
He was bulking up, and this fight is pretty friggin' intense,
Yes.
right? And it lasts
Give us
a
some battle music,
very long time. There's lots of like cutting of throats and axes and craziness and.
And I like how they're just fighting through the like holes of the shields or not,
Yep.
and so you're either lucky or you're not. Pretty much.
It's like some guys are standing there, like hold the line. It's like,
Other
what
guys
is
are- or the
my
guys
job?
that-
The guy's like waiting. Just when's my chance? Like you don't
No,
know
but
what.
did
You
you
just don't
notice-
know.
And then apparently though, when you jump over the line and you're past the field of like the main
just get
interaction,
You're like offside.
no, you're okay on
you're
that
offside.
side.
Oh.
But nobody checked their back, so like.
They don't
You're
have a back checker.
like we're fighting here and this is where the line is. Nobody goes, is anybody gonna stab me in the back? Nobody
from
did that.
behind? No, that's very
But apparently they're honorable enough that you don't stab them in the back like that. But I guess Vikings would want to face people head on.
How good was that scene that you were speaking about, Kari, where there's guys was. I mean, this is the
When they
Viking
jump over and they
move.
get speared?
Like this is the practice move. Like this is like, okay, you guys are going to be the guys that while we're engaged, you jump over and
Yep.
then attack from behind, and then obviously everybody knows what's happening because they both do
Yep.
it in the midair. It's like
Yeah.
Wasn't it awesome?
that's awesome.
I thought it was great
And
when the guys
nobody
tried to
thought
jump
to
over.
go around.
Okay, you're asking
I'm asking a lot from this
asking a
battle.
lot right now.
That's too much, Kari. Come on, that would make
Apparently,
sense.
if you go over, you die. If you go through, you die. Oh wait, maybe I'll just walk around.
Kari, these are men fighting.
I would crawl
Men.
underneath
Yeah, there
their
we go.
legs. That's
Just
what I would
saying.
do.
They had no ladies fighting this time.
There
no
weren't.
ladies went on this
Good
trip.
call.
See,
Yep.
apparently, if I'd gone, they would have won faster.
But you know who
But it was a
did
draw.
not? Speaking of one eye.
Yeah.
One eye.
His death.
Look, there's a lot of blood.
Womp.
Bad.
Really bad. There's a lot
Yeah.
of blood. And Rollo, I mean, he's
Did
out.
you like Rollo
He's
covered
out
in
for
blood?
it.
No, that was a bit much.
It's a bit
That
much,
was-
right?
Like drenched.
But everybody, Jarl Borg, Horik, Ragnar, and the kings are fighting together. That's great.
Yep.
Yep.
A lot of blood, and as you said, James, like this one-eyed. I mean, this is a spear through the body, and then like
Lifted.
hey, buddy.
Oh, and his friend saw it, and his friend was like, not cool.
Nope, that was Trafalgar Fudge. Watch the whole thing. I thought this was really great from Clive Standen, who you could see the myriad of emotions in his eyes while he's having to execute this scene of killing his friend, and you could see like, I'm really angry. God, I don't want to be doing
He's
this.
definitely acting out.
Yeah,
Like he's,
right. But he's also like sad and torn and conflicted while this whole
bullshit.
thing is going
I
on.
I
Shit.
100% disagree with you.
Really?
I think it was blood and force, anger in his eyes. He didn't give a shit.
I
mean,
like
yes,
that
at
one
the
eye had
end-
more emotion. One eye just was like, I'm so disappointed in you. Like,
Yeah,
really?
right,
I thought
like
we were
you
buddies.
just-
That's true. You could see it. That was
His was
amazing.
more.
The-
I could see some wavering in Rollo.
Rollo.
Little
Because
bit.
it was right after he kills one eye that he just drops to his knees.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like,
after.
I give
But
up.
the want of being out of his brother's shadow and just being somebody is just so much more than having to kill his friends. Like
Ugh.
he wants that much more.
Yeah.
God, it was just
At
painful.
that point.
Right.
I like that standoff though between the two kings, two brothers, and then one eye's friend.
Yep.
They're all like, who's gonna move first? Who's gonna move? Who's gonna
gonna
move?
do?
Who's gonna?
And
do?
that's the same thing. Who's going to move first with Rolo
Yeah.
and Ragnar? And Rollo goes to his knees. Is like, listen, I can't fight my own brother.
Right. After Ragnar's like, do you really want to do
Is
this?
this how it's going to be?
Yes, that too. And then Rollo beating the shit out of Floki.
That's true.
Not cool.
Thank
Oh.
you, NG.
Slight defense of Rollo though, not that I want to defend him. He was fighting with just a stick. He did not have a axe or a knife, so he was not dealing like completely fatal
In the same-
wounds. I mean, yes, you can do a lot of damage with the staff he had,
As he did.
but still, to Floki, it's not like he had an axe and took it to him a bunch of times, but just broke a bunch of bones.
wrists and all that.
Now, speaking of fighting with the stick, just a little
Floki had a knife, but Rollo didn't.
note about in real life. I don't know if you guys knew, Clive Standen actually is a very good Muay Thai boxer. He's a
Which one's
Muay
that
Thai. It's the like
Who's Clive Stanton?
Yeah.
Rollo.
Oh, he's a Muay Thai boxer?
Yeah, he's a he's grown up his entire life being a Muay Thai boxer. I don't think
Wow.
I don't think he competes anymore because he's busy acting.
Actually.
Wow,
But
that
when he
makes
was
him so
younger-
much more dangerous and attractive.
Yes, it does.
I'm a straight guy. I'm just thinking.
Grr.
It's okay.
Grr.
Wow, wow. Okay, so these guys are killing each other. It's amazing,
Yeah.
and it's so funny because at this point, moving forward, let's get the going here. It's like, okay, fight's over. Let's go,
draw.
back to camp. It's just
Bruh. Like,
that was so
back at
weird.
camp after the long day of
Yes.
fighting. It's like just, well, what are you guys doing here?
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
hey, and then these guys just like roll up. They
Yeah.
just walk up. We're like, hey guys, that was fun.
Yeah.
But this is one of those first moments where I thought about this scene with Ragnar. I'm sure this goes down in some sort of legend as like his first speech as Ragnar Lothbrok,
It
who
was a
is
smart speech.
moving towards being a legend. But he's like, why are we turning this inward and killing each other when really we should be going fucking west, guys? I tried to tell you this in the first place.
First
And
place
that
is
was
right.
my prediction. I'm like, they need a
Exactly.
bigger group of people.
And that's what's happening right here. So we're going to go outwards, stop killing each other. We don't need to kill each other.
Right.
We're going to go to the west. And that's the whole thing. So now they agree.
And everyone kind of retreats to their own little corners. We don't really know why or for how long or whatever, but then there's this super awkward, like they're on the boat going back to Kattegat, and Rollo's there in chains. Like, back on the boat.
I don't really get that, but I mean,
Really
I guess,
awkward.
Well, he's a prisoner.
Yeah, but why?
Because he tried
They're
to
gonna
kill
take him
his
back.
brother.
Why didn't he just not stay?
No, because Rollo was.
They got to take him back for trial. He's part of their people.
But why didn't he stay in Jutland?
No, I don't
Well,
think.
why would that king guy want to keep him around?
That's good.
You
man.
betrayed me too.
Yeah,
Kind of a moment.
Okay,
he-
fair
he
He
enough.
betrayed both
Yeah.
parties. Why would you
Okay.
keep him?
exactly.
I
He
see that.
betrayed Ragnar, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Actually, real Ragnar, just kidding. My bad. I really can't fight you or kill you." So then JB is like, "Well, screw you, dude.
He's
you
all
better go
Ragnar,
back."
take him back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want him.
I don't want him to right.
Yeah.
So now this guy's going back and change on the boat, and we're back in Kattegat, guys.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
audience is still with us. Guys, comment down and below in the video. Let us know how we're doing. If you guys are enjoying this, and give us a thumbs up. That thumbs up really helps the video get out there. So everybody can
does.
enjoy this. Yeah.
Thumbs up are amazing.
We're in Kattegat, guys. Kattegat.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy scene when they all come back. The boat docks and everyone's like freaking out. And apparently they've been gone for a really long time.
apparently all the men
at
have
this
died?
point. Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that on the dock. It was
Second
all the
dog.
sea of women.
Yep. And they bring Floki out, and Helga comes up, and she's like freaking out because
like, "Oh,
Floki's
shit."
dead, and Lagertha. At this point, let me remind you, Ragnar doesn't know that Gyda's dead.
Correct.
Lagertha's
Yes.
got it all over her face too.
No.
Awesome.
When does he go up to Rollo and he goes? No, he goes up to Rollo and he goes.
Yep.
Not that you care, but Gyda's dead.
Because remember, after
He
they
told
did
him before at the battle.
After they were
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, after they were talking
I missed
about
that part.
yeah, they were talking to each other
Shit
about
box.
negotiating, went back home, and then came back with saw Gyda was dead, and then came back with his whole army to fight Jarl Borg.
Oh.
I'll go with. Thanks, I appreciate that.
Hashtag Team Carrie.
I thought it was
Very
actually
good.
Floki who got the news. Oh no, because Floki wasn't going back home. to
He
Kattegat.
didn't have an army. Instead, he
Yeah.
had an army, and he had a king as well with him.
And they seem to have a smaller group compared to all the men that were on the ridge line, but whatever.
Right. This
But
is
yeah,
what
no,
happens
he-
when we don't see an episode for 6 months.
I mean, we lost.
No, but yeah, he
Is that my
leans over to
excuse?
Rollo and he's like, "Not that you care, but your niece Gyda is dead."
That's right. I
And
forgot
Rollo's
about
like,
that. Darn.
yeah.
Darn.
And he's
Okay.
when he's on his knees, so it's after he's already surrendered and everything.
Yep.
Just so he can feel
Exactly.
more like shit.
Cool. So feeling like shit was what's happening here. Who else is feeling
Yes.
like shit is Lagertha, because she's confronting him about Aslaug. Who is that? Who is
Right.
Aslaug?
I like that she's not like awkwardly subtle. She just kind of goes, "Oh, who's that?" Without being like prodding.
Mm-hmm.
And then he obviously Ragnar does. Okay, men, if a lady asks you a question, when you freak out about it, it just guarantees any suspicion
Right.
she had, because
Yeah,
she's like,
guarantees
"Well, why are
bullshit."
you
Yeah.
getting all upset
Exactly.
about this little question?" Because he could have been like, "Oh, it's this lady we met on our trip."
And then he like
But he's like,
pushes the issue, right? He freaks out, and then 30 seconds later, he's like, "How can I get you to forget this?"
Well, no, hold
Let's
on.
have sex.
No, not yet.
Stop. He said stop.
Yeah, we're
said,
not
"Stop."
talking about it.
But
what did the
she
boy
stood up
tell
for
you?
herself, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she whoops the shit out of him.
And then he kicks in the door. It's like, no, we talk right now, and that's what
Yeah.
I love about her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right? And that's why I'm saying when you guys see Aslaug, then she's all like airy fairy, and you have like Lagertha.
Well, his speech later, you're both different. in
Not
a-
saying I like Aslaug.
Oh.
Just saying, you see a hot naked chick in the woods, you're gonna stop and stare. Even me.
Hey, yeah.
It's the
I agree.
human form can look very nice,
Yeah,
so anybody
yeah.
can appreciate that.
Right?
Absolutely. All right. So,
But yeah, no, I thought she would actually get physical fight with him faster instead of just throwing things at him. But then she starts to in this kind of sexy, steamy passion, and then
Right.
she's like, "All right, fine, don't
And
see
that's
her."
when he's like, what can I do to make you forget this? Like,
Never see her again.
You just
Never.
told me. I'd be like, no, dude, I'm not gonna forget this right now. Like, you just told me you were fucking this other lady. Like, no, screw you.
Did you have sex? Yes. How many times? Once. She's
Good.
like,
All right.
it's
I
one of
guess-
those, all right, it's not as bad as it can be, but I'm still mad at you.
it's so funny.
But then it was all hot, and they're like, he's holding her arms up against the
but
wall.
They like it to fight and have
They
sex.
do. They
do,
like angry
yes.
sex.
They do. But now, afterwards, Bjorn is asking, he's like, listen, can you just say sorry? It's so funny. Like, can you just say sorry? And Ragnar's like,
Nope.
That was great. He's like,
a
no,
little bit more
no.
complicated than that, my son.
This is not how we
Which
roll.
is funny. But okay, let's get on. We're moving forward
Yeah.
now. It's Rollo, and it's time to decide what's going to happen with El Rollo. And and we can, guys, we can have Ragnar the Earl decide because it's his brother, so it's
Makes
impartial,
sense.
right?
Yep.
Which is very fair, which I'm actually surprised by.
Like that we haven't seen a
what
lawmaker
do they
till
do?
now.
They get what do they do?
The
They-
lawmaker.
Yeah, he is standing
Came
on
out of nowhere.
the rock of power, or whatever
Something
it's
magical.
called.
Yeah.
And if you're on this rock, like whatever you say, you're being channeled through the gods.
Yep.
I mean, you are you can imagine what is. I'm king of Norway. Now the gods
Done.
bestowed it on
Well,
me.
you said it
This
because
guy
you're on the
is
I
rock.
liked his logic. That was the best way to explain it, because, yeah, we're running out of time. Best way to explain it, and lo and behold, he has a coin in his hand that Ragnar had just moments before that, so he's probably bribed. Very much
Probably,
bribed.
very much
yes.
bribed.
But that was a good way to spin it. Same thing with the way Lagertha spun the story with the gods. So it was a good way to explain it where nobody could really argue it.
Yep.
That's great. Yeah. So in the end result here is Rollo goes free.
Yep.
Free.
I thought he would have been banished, actually.
Yeah, I thought that was good. Well, he tried to banish himself, right? Because then all of a sudden he like.
Yeah, he
he's
tries
like,
to
I'm leaving.
leave.
I'm
Like-
leaving.
And Ziggy's
Nobody
like,
likes
you were gonna
me."
leave without saying bye. How
Whatever,
little do you
Ziggy.
know me? Oh, I like his dramatic. I have nothing to offer
Oh
you.
Jesus! Right? I was like, dude, get over yourself. Like, I can't
Yeah.
do the like passive aggressive
Whatever.
like pity party thing.
Yeah, no.
Pity
You
party.
suck.
Something that was not a pity party is Ragnar sitting at the water's edge and finally taking his leave from Gita, which was a very emotional. My wife started crying. My ears started tearing up.
And how
we-
they shot that with that smeared edges, as if like you're crying, and the
Gorgeous.
edge. Oh, beautiful.
Gorgeous,
Ooh,
yeah.
Shot. Beautiful.
saying, listen,
Yep.
you're away, but you'll never be gone because you're always in my heart.
Oh.
All the good stuff. It was amazing. So bless your
Daughters will
heart,
always
Gita.
be the light of their life.
Amazing. And he takes that into a beautiful dreamy sleep by himself on the
Yes.
beach and wakes up to.
Bitch returns. And every shot of her, every shot of her, look how pregnant I am. Look how pregnant I am. Every time she's holding that pregnant belly.
I cannot get over Lagertha when she sees her
yeah,
the
she's
first
like-
time. Like, it's not even mad. She's like, what the fuck?
She's like,
One time, Ragnar? One fucking time?
she's like, how do I compete with that?
like, dude, kind of, yeah,
yeah,
that's
it
kind
is
of
like-
exactly what she was looking like.
She's an Amazon and she's gorgeous, and Lagertha's just like, fuck, how do I compete with that?
Shitbox, man.
And
okay.
I want to jump in the part that I
Lagertha.
thought was hilarious.
Right.
When they're all sitting at the dinner table and he's like, well, we can have like both of you. That totally works. And I do remember that from cultural anthropology, and it does technically help both parties if one can't make a baby and blah, blah. But I was laughing so
He
hard
was
because
taking
he
a
was
big
such
leap of faith to
he
do
was
that.
such a
Huge.
little immature boy. And also when the lady comes the first time from the ocean, I'm like, Andrea Aslaug, thank you. And he's like hiding behind the pillar. I'm like, dude, Ragnar just became a 10-year-old boy.
Didn't he, though?
And I was laughing so hard at that dinner table, and he's like, so can we like all hook up?
Just
and
get
they're
together and,
they're
like,
like, no.
Funny times. Exactly.
Yep.
So now, and
Aslaug seemed okay with it though.
Well,
she was
yeah,
down.
and Lagertha
Right.
is saying, but Aslaug probably wants to get rid of her. But Lagertha is saying
Long
in bed
term.
at night, yeah, listen, is this what you want? And Ragnar's saying, I can't kick out.
I have to
My
take
baby.
care of
Argue with
this
that.
woman. I have to take care of
My
this woman.
baby.
She is my child.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like,
thought
I have
that
no
would appeal
choice.
to her motherness, but I understand what she did, kind of.
And then this all results, guys. Lagertha's leaving.
Yeah.
She's gone. And now Bjorn
I
has
was
to
surprised.
decide.
I was so surprised when she actually picked up and left.
No, because Bjorn has to decide. Do I
Yeah.
go with Lagertha or do
He's
I stay with
totally
Ragnar?
a mama's
Yep.
boy.
So now
I was not surprised.
Lagertha is basically breaking up the family here.
Yeah.
But she
I'm
says,
okay with it.
she says, you gave me no choice. You
There you go.
humiliated me.
There you go.
I have to do this. I have to divorce
Yeah.
you. And when you put it that way, Ragnar had no argument.
Yeah.
He couldn't say shit
Yeah.
about it. And even when Bjorn was like, no, I'm going with mom's,
Yeah.
Ragnar had no
Finally.
argument.
I was wondering where she's going. I was wondering if she's going back to family and would tell him, like, well, I'm going to my family in case you want to come look for me later.
Exactly. So before we get to predictions, we wrap up episode 2 with basically Ragnar losing his whole family, but gaining a new one.
New one.
Exactly. So let's go to predictions for Kari Lane.
All right.
Your
Yeah.
AfterBuzz TV.
We'll do lightning speed.
predictions.
Okay, Bjorn. I do not think we're done with Bjorn and Lagertha at all. They will come back some way, shape, or form. Either she'll be okay with the threesome, or I can't remember her name.
Aslaug.
Aslaug, yeah, there we go. Or she'll be like, she'll leave in some way or something and take the baby and go a different way. Hopefully they hurry up and get the raiding party together and go back to Northumbria and kill that king, because now they'll have a much bigger group and can take down more people.
I love it. Guys,
Excellent
this was
predictions.
episode 9 of season 1 and episode 1 of season 2, the after show for Vikings. That's amazing. My name is Jaco Vennings. You guys can follow me all over social media, and I mean all over social media at Jaco Vennings.
He said, I mean, all over. While Carrie is texting in the live chat,
No,
I'll go.
yeah,
My
there we
name
go.
is James Simmons, and you can find me all over, like Yaku, social
All
media,
over.
at Axe the NP. You better axe somebody.
Oh, well, thank you. Someone said I'm good with my predictions. Well, I hope you know that I have not seen the show, unlike these guys, so it's very entertaining to see their expressions when I do these. Yeah, guys, you can find me online at Kari D Lane, that's KaridLane, and thank you so much for watching and chatting with me in the chat.
We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
See
Love
ya!
you.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.